Hi guys, thank you for being here with me on this lovely afternoon. I'm Caryn Lutz. I'm your host, CEO, founder, spiritual and transformational mindset, life and book coach, On the Go Talent. You can find me at onthegotalent.com or at Caryn Lutz, CarynLutz. I am happy to be here. Thanks for your patience. I want to talk about my transformation during the post and the feedback and reaction and all that. So let me go back here. So as I stated, I'm in this wonderful spiritual class. So universal law, cause and effect. I'm here to awaken minds. I'm here to help you reflect back upon your life and see what you are, who you are, where you are in the world right now, because we're all in the now. We're all here right now, living in this moment. So I wanted to talk about how evaluation of a situation, I might rhyme here, maybe there's a song coming, you know my humor, but I tell the truth. Evaluation of the situation creates a dangerous situation with the explanation. I'm onto something. I'll have to look back at this live. Anyway, so that's what started to happen. Friends started to reach out to me. They're like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? Is he okay? I'm like, okay, first of all, it is 20 years ago. Everyone's moved past that situation. My purpose for telling you this is because it truly did happen. It happened. Here's what I'm learning. In the evaluation, we give our power away in the story narrative instead of creating as first cause. I'm not giving any power away because it took a lot of courage for me to actually share that truth. These were the facts. My evaluation, psychology, all that stuff, worked with many, taught psychology. It's pretty much spot on. But here's the thing. I made him wrong. I'm going to say it again. I made Roy wrong. Say that 10 times fast. How did I do that? Oh, physical abuse, all this kind of stuff going on, right? Yep, definitely happened. So, and this is just my beliefs, okay? I was always raised, males never raise their hand, push, physically abuse women. Watch this. In childhood, I remember, and it was probably me trying to tell the truth or say something or stick up for myself. And I'm not making them wrong. But I think, wait a minute. Did I talk back to my mother because or talk back? Because what does that even mean when I was actually sharing my emotions, sharing my truth? And then she would pass it and project it onto my father. And then my father, and people had the spoons, people had the belts. I'm just saying, this is the absolute truth. So I'm like, is there some kind of skewed system that's been going around for generations, right? Because I'm thinking, wow, like, here's father saying no man physically abused. Like, no woman, okay? And I'm putting this out there because I'm for empowering women. No one, male or female, deserves physical abuse. No one does. So let's break that limited belief right now of thinking it's okay to discipline your child in such a way. There are much better ways to do this. So you see how I'm really diving in deep to my conscious mind. And I'm really thinking about situations. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. You have this limited belief, but you're going and doing this. And none of this makes sense. Like when you really look back, and hi, thank you so much for being here and so supportive of my purpose of truth. I'm circling back around again. So I'm going to look at this situation differently. Did I deserve that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Here's the second part to this now. Evaluation creates story and gives meaning and keeps one looped. You see what's going on right here? It all makes sense, doesn't it? Here's Caryn evaluating the situation and trying to make it right because we're not supposed to make people wrong. Is this a limited belief? I don't know. I just know personally in my own belief system, no one should have to go through physical abuse. And that was really the turning point in my life, in relationships, that really pushed me to the point to really, I believe, share my truth. And it took a lot of guts for me to do that yesterday. And I do that because, okay, so I shared my story yesterday for a few reasons. Number one, I shared it for my husband, Joe, to see, because I was very, very blocked when we met. I really didn't share too much about it. And I want him to think back on his behavior of things too. And number two, recognize your childhood and your parenting skills. I'm no expert. I'm not placing myself as an expert parent. Obviously, we have 6 angels in heaven. But I was a teacher for a really long time. And I do have background in elementary education. So I kind of was like a parent to those kids. And I loved every one of them. I would never put my hands on a kid. You see what I'm saying? So it's so tough. Teachers have it so tough because you want to discipline, but you don't want to project anything wrong. And yeah, I mean, you would be fired if you did something like that. So I would never even think about it. You have to think before you act. People go out with a bang instead of thinking back, and seeing how you can improve situations. Okay, and the third reason why I shared this is for my friends to wake up. I have friends who have been putting up with abusive situations mentally, physically, emotionally for way too long. And if they're no longer in those situations, I want them to reflect back. That's truly why I came on here today. Not to justify, not to prove. I don't need permission, like I said yesterday, to share my truth. That was the truth. I was physically, mentally, emotionally abused by Roy. Years have moved on. Like I said, I pray. I send that out with love. I send love out to him because that's what I want to receive back. And to be quite honest, yesterday after I did it, I actually sent him a friend request. He accepted, probably saw my post, and then got scared. That's what I want to happen because this is what started to happen to me. When I started to really take this spiritual journey seriously, I had to reflect back on my life and my behavior. I'm telling you guys, please, it's so hard to do, but look back at your own life and your own behavior. Try not to evaluate it. Just be. Sit there and let it be. I will no longer play victim of the battered woman. That wasn't my point yesterday. My point is I'm sharing my truth to help other people. I want you guys to start sharing your truth. Like I said, I'm a safe space for this. And that is the whole point. That's the whole point of this. I want and pray for people to expand their minds. What I'm learning is what you focus on and what your conscious level is expands. So if you're putting bad energy out into the world, you're going to receive it back. That's why I'm putting love out into the situation. It was a traumatic event which really changed my life and really shaped who I am as a woman. It shaped me in ways I never realized until just recently. I am a voice for others. And the greatest part of it, when I say voice, I get to create songs. And that's what started to happen too. It's a wake-up call. It is a wake-up call for people. What is your purpose? What are the traumatic events in your life? And what I'm learning is to transcend emotion, because it will eventually become a blessing that will be born. And the way I think of it is I take my anger and my creativity and all that emotions, and I'm able to translate that and transcend that into the performing and creative arts, into songs. My songs, the originals that I had written 20 years ago, like, this is the truth. This is the truth behind them. So I actually thank those people who had given me the story or the traumatic event to create such masterpieces. I thank them, because that's where it all comes from. So if you've learned anything today, this is the tricky one, and this is hard, and this is why I'm actually excited to keep posting and continuing to create my videos and my stories about people. Don't make them wrong. If that isn't like reverse psychology, I don't know what is. But take that, seriously, take that and think about that. It always has to come back to self. It always comes back to self. I thank you guys so much for being here. And I hope that you are learning, because I'm definitely learning through this process. And I'll end with learn through love. So many of us are still learning through fear and these limited beliefs. You have to ask yourself the why. Why and your purpose. That's truly where it's at. Guys, have a wonderful afternoon. I'm glad that you were on here. Go on my timeline, look at the things that I'm posting, and look at the transformation and how I'm growing. And I'm so blessed to be here to expand positive consciousness to you all. Have a great day. God bless.